Good day, everyone. This is Nene Corp of STEM 1B.
I am Niña Bianca Vestil.
I am Janelle Roxanne Sorongon Abug.
I'm Julia Marie P. Moreno.
I am Reniezel Pamat.
I am Antoine Ember D. Galeno.
I am Sweet Ejay Alambatin.
I am Charmaine Angel D. Ugay.
I am Kyra Calvez.
And our study is entitled A Qualitative Comparison on Traditional and Online Learning Based on Student Perception on Mathematics and Algebra-Based Subjects.
The utilization of online classes in educational system has been a discussion for quite a while now, and with the emergence of the coronavirus disease 2019, people and students are forced to work in the comfort of their homes and adapt to the ever-growing digital world. In this study, the researchers assessed the effectiveness of online and traditional learning systems through their academic performance in mathematics and algebra-based subjects, with high regards to the surveyed students' varying perceptions.
The goal of the researchers was to assess the effectiveness of traditional learning and online learning in helping students with their struggles with math and algebra-based subjects among senior high school students in accordance with their own perceptions. The researchers obtained data by conducting a survey which contained a Likert scale in their agreeableness to statements comparing online and traditional learning and straightforward questions about their preferred method of learning. The collected data were analyzed in order to present a certain method to help students and differentiate the two learning modalities in terms of students' academic performance in their math and algebra-based subjects.
Objectives of the study. This study compared the quality of traditional and online learning based on student perception with their academic performance on mathematics and algebra-based subjects. Specifically, it aimed to, number 1, investigate students' perception with regard to mathematics and algebra-based subjects. Number 2, compare how traditional and digital learning differ according to students' perception of mathematics and algebra-based subjects. And number 3, determine student preference between the two learning environments and gather different perspectives about it with regards to their academic performance on mathematics and algebra-based subjects.
Next is the methodology. The research is designed to utilize a qualitative research in order to compare the quality of traditional and online learning based on student perception with their academic performance on mathematics and algebra-based subjects.
The researchers gathered and collected data by constructing an online survey which was immediately distributed to the target respondents of grade 11 from STEM 1E upon completion. They conducted the study in their respective homes in accordance with the laws and regulations set by Department of Health regarding the pandemic. The researchers then formulated statements and questions in concern with the aims of the study. Google Forms was utilized. It is a web-based app that can be accessed conveniently through online for data collection purposes. Subsequently, to gain more knowledge about the efficiency of traditional and online learning, the researchers seek more baseline information through articles, books, and journals that can be seen from the internet. All information obtained from the respondents were used solely for this study with careful review and analysis, and remain confidential for the respondents' sake.
Third in methodology is survey and questionnaire construction. The online survey was divided into 3 sections. Section 1, students' perceptions about math. Section 2, learning mathematics in a traditional classroom. And Section 3, learning mathematics in a digital classroom. There were also additional questions by the end of the survey questionnaire, asking their preferred learning environments. The researchers applied the Likert scale in their survey, which ranged from 5, strongly agree, 4, agree, 3, undecided, 2, disagree, and 1, strongly disagree. Using the link of the Google Forms to where the survey was established, it was given to assigned respondents. Additionally, the survey also included questions regarding their age and institutional email address. In the Section 1 of the online survey, it is about students' perception about math. It contains 5 statements, which is first, mathematics is a difficult subject that requires thorough discussion to be understood. Second, there is no difference between my performance in mathematics and algebra-based subjects in traditional and online learning. Third, I have never felt incapable of learning math. Fourth, it isn't hard for me to quickly catch up on the lessons regarding mathematics and algebra-based subjects. Lastly, I think learning math is important for my future.
For Section 2, formulated statements talk about how students agree or disagree about their ability and performance in learning mathematics in a traditional classroom.
Section 3 of the table is about learning mathematics in a digital classroom. Starting with the first question, which is mathematical problems can be solved using only the module given by the instructor as a guide. Followed by it is easier to learn mathematics and algebra-based subjects when in digital learning than in traditional learning. And then, higher grades are obtained in mathematics when in an online classroom compared to traditional learning. Next is, I am not scared to answer a math problem during online meets. And lastly, digital learning increases learners' social isolation, especially to those who prefer learning in a study group.
At the end of the survey, additional questions were given, asking as to which learning modes they prefer and enjoy the most, which also compares the efficiency between traditional and online learning.
And now, we will tackle the results obtained from the study. This study aimed to compare the quality of traditional and online learning based on student perception on mathematics and algebra-based subjects. This section will answer the three objectives presented first in the introduction. First, we will tackle the age demographic of the respondents. There are a total of 37 responses recorded, and the data gathered shows that 4 or 10.8% of them are 16 years old, 78.4% or 18 or 17 years old, and 10.8% or 4 of the remaining respondents are 18 years old. It can be concluded that the respondents are currently in their adolescence, according to the World Health Organization. In the next section of the survey, the researchers asked the respondents about their perceptions on math and algebra-based subjects by presenting statements to be answered in a Likert scale ranging from 5, strongly agree, 4, agree, 3, undecided, 2, disagree, and 1, strongly disagree. Statements 1, 3, and 4 ask about the difficulty of the subjects. As seen with the results, it can be said that the students perceive math as a difficult subject. Statement 2 compares the students' performance in math in both online and traditional learning. It can be inferred that the respondents have seen a significant difference with their performance with the shift to online classes. Seeing that a greater number of students chose the disagreeable side of the scale compared to the students who chose the agreeable side. 9 of them were undecided. The last statement asks about the importance of math in the life of the students. A greater number of students agreed with the statement. Meanwhile, 12 or 31.6% of the students were undecided. In 2015, Gafoor and Kurukan stated that mathematics has an important role in our daily lives, even if it is perceived as a difficult and obscure subject that attracts the least interest to people.
Section 2 is about learning mathematics in a traditional classroom. Table 3 shows the perception of 38 students in regards to learning mathematics in a traditional classroom. Statement number 1 asks whether the students learned more using the traditional classroom rather than the digital classroom. Majority of the students answered strongly agree. Numbers 2, 3, and 4 asks about the ability of students in learning using the traditional classroom with the interaction of the teacher. 39.5% of the students agree with statement number 2. Strongly agree is the answer that most of the students chose in statement 3. Most of the students strongly agree with statement number 4. Number 5 asks about the performance of students in regarding to participating in answering mathematical problems using the traditional classroom. The students mostly answered undecided in this statement. Section 3 is about learning mathematics in a digital classroom. Table 4 shows the result on the Likert scale based on the student perception of online classes. Majority of the students disagreed with the first statement, accounting for 13 out of 38. In the second statement, 15 students answered strongly disagree. The majority of the respondents in the third statement opted undecided. Majority of the students opted strongly disagree and disagree into a tie. And in the last statement, majority of the respondents were undecided.
As for Table 5 that shows the results on the statement on traditional learning, the table shows the number of respondents agreeing or disagreeing with 5 statements related to their behavior during traditional face-to-face classes. The respondents were made to choose from 4 choices ranging with strong disagreeableness to strong agreeableness. In the first statement, I always study for an upcoming test, 26 respondents agreed, while 4 strongly agreed, making the majority of the respondents claim to study for a math test compared to an underwhelming 8 respondents who chose to disagree otherwise. In the second statement, 27 students agreed while 3 strongly agreed, while 4 students disagreed and 4 strongly disagreed. This shows that the majority of the respondents agreed with the statement, I set aside time to study for math and do my homework, and it is a common behavior for them during face-to-face classes. Comparing Table 5 and 6, it is evident that more students agree with the statements taking into account a physical learning environment while disagreeing with the same statements but conducted in an online environment.
In the last part of the survey, students were asked as to which learning modes they prefer and enjoy learning most. They were made to choose from either classroom setting, in which face-to-face with a teacher, and digital classroom, where teachers assist through online discussions, learning materials, and video lectures. A total of 36 respondents answered, where 35 of them, or 97.2%, chose classroom setting and preferred a physical environment and fostering learning competency, while only 1 or 2.8% of the respondents chose digital classroom as his preferred learning environment. The same is true with the second question. Out of the 38 responses, 37 or 97.4% of the respondents prefer face-to-face instruction, physical study groups with friends, and tutoring, while only 1 or 2.6% of the respondents adapts in learning math through online discussions and self-studying with the help of online videos and courses.
The following are concluded from the findings of the study. First, with the findings of the study along with the support of other related studies, it can be inferred that students experience difficulties and struggle with learning mathematics and algebra-based subjects, which was further accentuated with the shift to online classes. Even though students perceive the subject negatively, mathematics and related subjects are still an important part of academic instruction and learning as a student.
Number 2. It can be concluded based on the results that students find ease with learning math in a face-to-face physical classroom. With the presence of an instructor they can instantly go to and the existence of physical learning materials, students find it easier to learn the perceived difficult subject compared to online classes, where the concept of self-studying and sufficing oneself with information instead of having access to a physical lecture is considered bothersome and a hassle. According to the respondents, it is easier to understand mathematics and algebra-based subjects along with the lessons that correspond with it in a physical classroom. The sudden shift of learning mathematics in a non-traditional way, in this case in an online learning environment, has caused students to withdraw from digital learning, especially with learning math. It was then revealed that students favor face-to-face interaction.
Between the learning environments of the two classrooms, most students find it easier to learn mathematics and algebra-based subjects in a traditional classroom. This is because students can ask questions directly to their instructors easily whenever they are having a hard time understanding the topic and can concentrate more, especially when the teacher is in front of them and can monitor them. Students can also concentrate more into learning things in a traditional classroom, as students will have less distractions and has less use of technological devices. Improving social skills is also a benefit of a traditional classroom, since students can engage with one another and can also develop them physically, socially, emotionally, and cognitively.
Researchers are now ready for your comments and suggestions.